Hi, hello, welcome to the Daily Tarot Buffet brought to you by Vertex of Abundance. My name is Serene Priestess of Lucy. I'll be your oracle today. I was sent to deliberate the findings for the transiting moon into Taurus. If you are new, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. It is a delight and an honor and a privilege to serve you. If you're new, welcome. If you are returning, welcome back. As I said, you belong to welcome home. Vertex of Abundance is the galactic temple of ascension, delivering sacred messages from behind the veil. If anything resonates deeply with you, go ahead and smash that like button. During the Gemini season, when we have a event going on in the sign of Taurus, it's a 12th house event. So this event is a lunation, meaning a lunar event, moon. So there's increased intuition, insight according to the 12th house. Okay, so really kind of the things going on over our head or maybe behind our back or maybe out of our control, out of our hands. Typically, the 12th house talks about coming and going to like this incarnation, being in the body, having a life, having an existence. It can deal with institutions, so things that are kind of like taken away from you or taken away from us, or like things that are bigger than us. Also, that kind of catch us when we fall, which is more than just institutions. That could be ancestors, it could be lineage, it could be bloodline. Also, the 12th house, many people don't know this, but it talks about the older siblings of our mother. So there's a lot going on here, jails, institutions, hospitals, rehabs, also like liberation. So it's not just like getting out of life or expediting, clearing, cleansing our karma. It could also be like we might be getting out of debt from previous lifetimes, and it doesn't always show up as like a lifting. It can feel like a burden, but it also could talk about like letting things go or things dissipating. So sometimes we'll see there's a bit of a having to with the 12th house. So because it's opposite the 6th house, which is karmic debt, but the 12th house is karmic debt from previous lifetimes. So sometimes it's having to travel. You're getting to travel, but you have to. Oftentimes, it could be having to be separated from something. Typically, it's things that give you cushy, cushy, wishy, wishy, warm and fuzzy. Leaving home, getting away from hometown, getting away from a family of origin, things of that nature. So there's this kind of conflict or crossing energy coming to our path a little bit. There might be some shifts and changes. If we're trying to be authentic, genuine, sincere, we're trying to go according to our authentic self, our true nature, and we're trying to like make movement or make strides forward. There's some energy around it that's block, block, blockity, block, block, block. Not only that, but it's going to happen kind of like in the Taurus energy. So our voice, always with the voice, it's typical Taurus voice words, even like throat chakra, but it could also be values. Okay, now they're not coming to the second house like usual, it's coming to the 12th house. So values around institutions, speaking up in institutions. So it could also be the opposite of that, institutional abuse, being silenced, status quo, rocking the boat, going with the flow, policy, procedure, protocol, ad nauseam and infinitum, etc. There is a little bit of supreme authority. So maybe we have mastered a technical skill, especially if we're getting accreditations, credentials. We need to be our authentic self. That's the only thing I know thus far. And I'm hearing that Paula Abdul song. I don't know the name of the song, but you are so hard to read. You play hide and seek. with your true intention. It's that, do you love me? Do you love me? I was hearing that even as I was preparing to come on the channel. It might be like somebody being sideways, somebody being sneaky, not clear with their intentions, with their needs, not being straightforward. You know, sneaky is seven of swords. So sideways, seditious, sneaky, trifling, treacherous, tricky. It's like even like moving in a certain kind of way, having a modus operandi, you know, a way about you that's not quite straightforward. Now, we're going to lay four cards from the This Might Hurt Tarots by Isabel Rotman. You can get it at Liminal 11 Publishing. As we lay these four cards, they will talk about the overall energy as we're gathered here today for the Daily Tarot Buffet. Now, we're also a little late with this, but I really want to get the 12th house out there. So we're doing it. We'll catch up when that happens, whenever that happens, whether it's quickly or not so quickly. And if the video is a little too long or too verbose for you, you can always double speed the video. You don't have to necessarily fast forward. So just look through the setter or the settings or the YouTube or the page or the platform or whatever, and you go speed it up. You can go up to twice as fast, which makes the video be up to half as much as long. And then also there's usually, not always, but there's usually in the show notes or about section or description box, depending on the platform, trying to click through to the video. If you're coming through on YouTube from like Apple TV or Roku or something like that, you're gonna need to get to a browser. But between the Hamza hands, there's a description or a summary or whatever. Not every video, but more often than not. We have the Knight of Cups, Three of Cups, Nine of Swords, Seven of Wands. Again, that's the overall energy as we're gathered here today. Hold on myself. So I gotta break it up so it doesn't stain. Let's see. So I'm gonna lay these four cards, which are here already. When more cards come out, it'll modify or clarify these baseline cards here. From This Might Hurt Tarot, we have the Knight of Cups, Three of Cups, Nine of Swords, Seven of Wands. Knight of Cups, Three of Cups, Nine of Swords, Seven of Wands. Triple Mars energy already. Knight of Cups is driving life forward according to authentic self, genuineness, sincerity. It's typically some kind of expansion, and it's taking actions. This one is like being affectionate, making a romantic offer, or even coming from the heart. Three of Cups is witness or testimony. It can be celebrations or reunions. Nine of Swords is the distress card. So it's at its worst for somebody else, it would be them feeling guilty, manifesting as remorse, manifesting as shame. For us, we could be targeted or under attack in the crosshair somewhere, especially with the Seven of Wands, standing our ground, high ground. This can be anxiety or fear, like we let somebody in that we shouldn't have, because some of the swords give the reverse meaning to the surrounding cards. So, okay, well, this it doesn't work here because they're both Mars. So I misspoke a little bit, but the other side may also be having something backfire. There may have been some kind of, you know, whatever counter energy this is, whether it's a person, place, or thing, or whether it's just our lower self, or our former self, our previous self, our past self, our unactualized, unrealized self. Knight of Cups, Three of Cups, that's desiring witness, desiring connection as well. Four of Swords, Sun. Ten of Swords, Chariot. So this is kind of testimony or witnesses, Three of Cups. That's where we're heading. We're desiring connection, warmth. And that's what intimacy is: trust, warmth, connection, and vulnerability. Because we're coming from this stasis, kind of like resting. We've had to heal from the places where we were being authentic, genuine, sincere, and it really wasn't recognized. Those who kind of mislabeled, misjudged, misperceived us is called misattribution. They mistook, they mistreated us. They're gonna well, that's gonna be purified and cleansed. It's gonna be burnt out of them, whether or not we get to see it. Some karma is being served there. It's rather harsh. The Ten of Swords is much different than the Ten of Wands. Think of it as purgatory versus damnation. Doesn't always equate to that. There needs to be some other energies in them other regions, and most people upon the earth cannot adjudicate, let alone discern what other people's karma is going to be. However, the difference between the Ten of Swords and the Ten of Wands is the Ten of Wands is cleansing and re-education in terms of karma. Think of it as purgatory. The Ten of Swords is damnation. So that's like a curse. That's kind of forfeiting your soul. But it's also, if it's none of that, it would be, instead of karmic cleansing, it would be karmic purification. Instead of karmic re-education, it would be karmic punishment. Okay. So it could just be the bubble bursting in terms of a spell dissipating, a curse, breaking, a hex lifting, if that makes sense. It could be a breakdown that leads to a breakthrough. Think of the dawning of the light after going through the darkness. So it could also be an enlightenment, especially with this Ten of Swords and um, the Sun card. But I do want to say, if the Death or the Five of Pentacles or the Five of Swords come out, with the Ten of Swords and the Sun card, that could be a physical death. I'll leave it there and move on. We can be dealing with somebody with their Sun in Cancer, with Il Carro and Il Sole. Now, from Los Carabeo, we have Vita Sibilla Daily Oracle to deliberate the findings or any type of pairing in terms of correlative or corresponding energy. We have these two cards together, Lenimico and Pensiero, Preciose, the precious presence. This means somebody is sneaking around trying to get to our root, trying to get to the heart of the matter in some kind of way. They might be sizing us up and taking an inventory. I say they, it could be our lower self, not knowing what we had, not knowing the value of something. Because the Nine of Swords is oftentimes like regret, shame. It's not just remorse, mourning, grief, like the Five of Cups. I'm hearing you never told me about the birds and the bees, about hide and go seek what he gets when he finds me. So reunion, the reunion. I cannot say that word for some reason ever. Doesn't matter. It's the reunion here. It's not always about romance, but I'm getting that here with Emineo. Emineo is like the union, the yoking, the ceremony. We're gonna come to find out that something we thought we missed or something we slept on kind of came back. Now, some other energy, entity, ideology might be finding it that they slept on us. So it's different for different folks, same energy though. For some of us, we're dealing with our lower self. For some of us, we're dealing with another being, another entity. They may be in the form of a human or a spirit. Yeah, because something here is moving in secret, is kind of cloaked. Maybe right in front of us, we don't know their intentions or their dealings. And it's this energy of coming back or doing something repetitively. That's what I'm getting. Because there was some kind of la fortuna, the opportunity, that the bright opportunity or the wheel kind of turning in our favor. Because on our end, we're having to get up and go and move forward, get up and get out there, comings and goings, chariot. We're protecting our high ground though, so something did happen. Star, Seven of Pentacles, Seven of Cups, Eight of Cups. So there's some attack here, I must say, with the three sevens. That's not an alert, that's an alarm. A week ago, there was a creative new beginning. And there should be like an invitation going out there, or somebody kind of wants to play or compete or have fun, or maybe even party a little bit. Maybe it's not always, the rowdy kind of party, but a witty exchange, banter, like fun, debate, putting our passion into something. This is a delayed message. There may be something that's scrutinizing, even as well, observing, because it's about what we have to offer. And sometimes that's just our charisma or our attractiveness, the ones. But this energy is from a week ago. Okay, could have been as much as a month ago around the Scorpio full moon, but it's manifesting finally because we need to literally react. The word is respond, but we need to respond to something quickly. Moon, Knight of Swords, Eight of Pentacles, Nine of Wands, Ten of Pentacles, Temperance. There's some discernment here. Number one, somebody definitely has a Mercury in Virgo or the 10th house. There is this estate or legacy, whether it's a business or family, that should protect what's being said. Which also gives some opposition or contrast there. Protect what's being said about. So protect both oppositional, adversarial, and beneficial language towards oneself. Because there's a little bit of evil eye or entitlement that's going to start kicking up spiritual energy. There's also somebody has their moon in Sagittarius, moon in the ninth house. There's some cloaking and masking and shapeshifting here with the temperance and the moon card. What is this nine of wands with the temperance? Message from the other side. Alegría. They are contrivial, superficial even. With Pensiero, they are thinking about their appearances. And the moment they find something out personal, they kind of go crazy about it. So what do? They copy. Seven of Cups, Seven of Wands, Seven of Pentacles. Seven of Wands in a triple seven situation is something is being attacked. Seven of Pentacles, there's an agenda. Seven of Cups, manipulation through illusion, delusion, confusion, gaslighting. Because Nine of Wands moon card, it's usually indicative of some kind of intention. It's not always intentional, but like some kind of energy alive in an environment, surrounding location, or person, place, or thing takes on a bit of a hold. Three of Cups moon, that could simply be too many people gossiping or watching. With the Page of Swords, could literally create a physical occurrence. So we're sharp, Nine of Swords. We act quickly, and actually, it's part of our mastery. Temperance card with the Knight of Swords. To be honest, it's part of our perfection. We perfected something, and it's being quick on the mouth or quick on the action, taking action. We're desiring to remain in authority in some way as well. And things that people say come back to kind of bear upon them. Nine of Swords, that's a backfire, especially with the Knight of Swords, Nine of Swords, it's a backfire. We have a pair of nines, a pair of pages, and a triple seven. I'm hearing that song. So take me home, my mother, father, take me home. I hate Granada. Don't leave me out in the forest where I might get eaten by a bear. Somebody is fearful, and seeing the Ten of Pentacles here, and I'm hearing you never told me, you never taught me, I was never informed, instructed for this role or this responsibility or this thing in life that I'm being held accountable to. Nobody took the time to make me accountable to. Page of Swords is a delayed message. Page of Wands is an invite. Normally, Page of Swords is bad news. Page of Wands is good news. With the Knight of Swords, it's exploitations or seizing, and it's coming from the future into the past. It's a reaction. Page of Cups is the homecoming. Nine of Wands is entitlement, evil eye. Eight of Pentacles is energetic field. It can be the grind or the energetic field. With the Temperance here, I'm thinking energetic field because that's zero space. Energy could be sent towards us. Seven of Pentacles, Eight of Pentacles. That's not a good sign for me, especially with the Queen of Swords here. So, what is this moon with the Queen of Swords, please? Hello, Mara. Hello, Farah. Yeah, it's energy moving in secret. Moon card, hidden agendas, ulterior motives, an agenda, or unknown enemy. This is moving in secret, having a plan, modus operandi, strategy, tactics. Yeah, but it's this energy of trying to reunite with us. This is the energy of somebody who's been made to cry. Nine of Wands, they've had to become strong. They missed out, they missed out on their flowers. They're withholding not just affection, but they're withholding feelings from us. The Delta, they really love us, and it's not being said or shown or something like that. It took them a while to get to that point, but there was love here all the time, is what I'm getting. So this seems like something that backfired. It was a twin flame connection, temperance. And I wouldn't say backfire, I would say unclaimed attraction, but we have the Two of Wands and Nine of Swords, and this is very Mars heavy. The backfire. Nine of Swords on its own is the backfire. Seven of Wands on its own is the backfire. So it's about missing one shot, missing the time, missing the chance. There's a resentment here. Somebody's still processing hurt feelings, but it's also saying that something is growing here. So Vertex of Abundance is the galactic temple of ascension, delivering sacred messages from behind the veil. If anything resonates deeply with, go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe, leave a review, book a session, send a donation. Go ahead and smash that like button. We're moving from having an open heart to getting a delayed message and taking it some time to heal. There's a pair of knights. Let's look at that. Knight of Swords and Knight of Wands. Moving quickly or moving from the heart. Some bubble gets burst here, I'm seeing. Yeah, there could have been something. It was almost maybe. Felt start misconnection. Yeah, something here is getting voided. It's like as we become ready to make a commitment, we also become able to discern something that we weren't able to discern before. Once there's deliberation, something else happens here. Minnesota in the star card could be an Aquarius moon. Knight of Cups with the moon card could be Pisces. Rising or Mars. Sagittarius with the Nine of Wands could be Sagittarius moon. Star card with the Knight of Swords could be Mars in the 11th, Mars in Aquarius or Aquarius rising. Page of Swords with the Star card could talk about some type of Leo energy, mainly Leo rising with Mars in the first house. We also have the Chariot with the Knight of Cups, so that could be Mars in Cancer, Mars in the fourth house, Cancer rising. Temperance Page of Swords is typically a Gemini Venus, Sagittarius rising, Venus in the seventh house, Venus in the third house. If there is a Gemini rising, they'd have Mars in the first house. So what's this 9 of Wands? So this needs to be chosen. Like somebody needs to choose whatever this is, whether it's us overcoming our lower self or we also have a pair of pins. I was feeling it, but I couldn't see it. Okay, so a pair of tens here. Some union is almost gonna get canceled out because there's a shared hardship that we might be going through separately, and the other side, is in anguish. We're ready to commit. What's with this 777? We're being alerted to the fact that there's love here, and it's not clear or obvious. Again, another night with the King of Cups. They want to make a love offer. They have all this love to give us. It's been a delight and an honor to serve. Thank you for allowing the privilege to do so. This was a reading about a connection, either with our former self that was unawakened or a connection with somebody that is awakening and we're coming online. This is about the world of healing, and everything should work out if we can be compassionate when we discover people aren't on the road or as far down the road as we should be. Just a quick prayer for all those still lost out there to illusion, delusion, confusion, lost in the seas of time, trapped somewhere in the matrix, yet to heal, yet to awaken, yet to return to the resplendent grace of the divine, unconditional love, and universal oneness. Upon we love you, we're sorry. Please forgive us, thank you. We pray that your steps are ordered, path illuminated, and that you find salvation and redemption in this life. Until we meet again, until we meet again, namaste, dandava, and ashe. Sayonara, that's with Anya Vida. Take good care. Bye bye.